Welcome everybody to the Seveney Mortgage Note Syndicate informational webinar. I'm glad you're joining us this evening. Tonight we're going to go over the who, what, when, why, and how for the Seveney Note Syndicate. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, what we're going to offer in the membership program, when is it going to be available, why you should join, and how do you join. So a little bit about me. I've been in real estate and construction since 1997. During this time, I've worked up in Boston, Washington, D.C. area, where I've managed close to about $1 billion worth of work. Primarily, it's been commercial, multifamily, office, retail, and some residential. I've done a lot of condo buildings and high-end residential real estate as well. So I like to tell people that I've been around the block. I started investing in notes in 2016, 5 years after starting to build my own personal portfolio. I'm currently managing a portfolio of just over about 250 active notes. I have it spread throughout 6 entities, 4 of which are Reg D 506C funds. And to be honest, I still have not seen it all. Recently, for example, I had to go to a foreclosure sale, or had a foreclosure sale, where I was not allowed to do a credit bid, meaning that I, as a lender, whatever I was bidding, had to make sure my attorney had those certified funds in hand, only for them to send it right back to me the following day. So this was in Erie County, Pennsylvania. For those wondering, never heard this before, foreclosed in other parts of Pennsylvania, never had to deal with this. A little bit personally about me. I have my lovely wife and 2 children. I am a diehard Boston sports fan. I grew up in Massachusetts and I currently reside in Northern Virginia. I've always lived on the East Coast. I do miss driving in the snow. That's the only thing I really miss about the snow. I don't miss shoveling snow and I don't miss the cold. For those who do not know me, I am a what you see is what you get type of individual. I don't sugarcoat things. I'm honest with people. I give them the opinions that involve the risk perspective and the reward. I'm not going to make everything look like it is rainbows and pink elephants or unicorns, whatever the saying is. So now that you know a little bit about me, so what is the Seveney Note Syndicate? It's a membership group I've been putting together for a little over a year, as one of the main comments I've heard from note investors is a lot of the information they get is, I'll use the term cookie cutter, very high level, not a lot of case studies or the learning by doing component to note investing. So I wanted to change that and give people an opportunity to join a cost-effective membership group without spending tens of thousands, where they can get some of this real-world experience. So I've broken it down into a professional and executive membership. For both memberships, you get access to my private Notes and Bolts Facebook group, which you can join right now. I have over 1,600 members. And people who join the membership also have entry into the Seveney Membership Hub, which in a few minutes will be providing a video of some of the documents and content that is there. This is going to be where we house all the videos, the case studies, as well as my complete library of documents I use for note investing. On the professional level, what you'll also receive is pre-recorded Q&As, which are the webinars and workshops. You'll be able to get those recorded. You won't be able to participate in them. That's for the executive level. You'll have access to some of the basic forms in the membership hub. You'll get several weeks access to my performing note and non-performing note calculators. And it's $30 a month or $300 for the year. So we tried to keep it very affordable. The professional membership was set up for people who just heard of note investing and they're like, this seems really intriguing, really interesting. I kind of want to get involved. So it's, again, low cost, where you can start to scratch the surface to see if it's something you want to continue and move to an executive membership. For those who are familiar with note investing and want to get more involved or continue to grow their business, we created the executive membership, which includes everything on the professional, but we'll also have participate in the live Q&As, access to some of the premium forms, unlimited access to my calculator, which is a licensed product that you'll be able to have access to. Like I'll mention later on, I believe I'm the only one that offers providing a calculator to investors as part of any membership group, but I could be wrong. And this is $100 a month, or you can one-time payment of $1,000 per year. Here I'm going to do a quick video, about 8 minutes long, that will go into what is included in the membership hub. Welcome everybody. Today we're going to go through my new Seveney Note Syndicate membership portal. So as part of the membership group for the professional executive members, you will have access behind the scenes to my entire document library that will be continually expanding and growing. So the members.seveneyinvestments.com is a website where you'll have a username and login. And just full disclosure, I have admin privileges, so certain things that you see may not be accessible to you based on your access level. So when you log in, you'll have an intro video, and then it's going to break it down into document library, online videos, coaching accountability, if we do one-on-one coaching later on, and the note calculators. So first we're going to go into the document library, which is broken down into marketing, operations, finance, case studies, promissory notes, and security instrument templates. Under the marketing is for people who are looking to originate or reach out to borrowers on seller financing. So we've got some marketing letters that are included. One of the other key things we put in here is the latest FDIC report from the bank data. So every quarter we download this information. I know it's very challenging to get banks to sell assets, but it's also good to see what's going on with the banks to see, are they holding reserves? Are they looking to sell more assets? Because if they're selling off assets, eventually it may flow down to the hedge funds, down to us. We also have some seller financing tools like the 1003 application, some instructions if you're doing seller financing on how borrowers can fill out that form, as well as an authorization form to pull credit from borrowers. Under the operations, this is where we have the most amount of data, and this is where I've spent the last 5 years really creating and forming these templates to allow me to run my business, which I believe is being very successful. So under business planning, we got a resource compilation, which will be continually updated, which has note sellers, books you can read, and just other areas to get great information on note investing outside of this membership group. We also have a one-page strategic plan in there, which comes from Gino Wickman's book Traction. They give instruction on how to fill it out and really focus on working backwards into creating your business plan for the following year. Next, we have legal contracts. We have a rehab scope of work template for those looking to do rehabs if they take a property back. And then where there's a blank space below that is the executive membership level documents. I give you my joint venture agreement, termination agreement. All of these documents are in there. And again, if there's something you want to see in here, let me know. We'll try and get an attorney or somebody else to provide the documents for the entire group. Acquisitions due diligence resources. We have collateral file document checklists, a utility lien request, which in Lake County and in St. Louis, in those areas where liens attached to the property, it's you can email this in or fax it in to request the amount that is owed. I also provide individuals with my bid due diligence template. I call it my go no-go template, where I put all the information from all my due diligence into one document instead of keeping in many different files. We also provide borrower documents and agreements, forced place insurance letters, door knock letters, hello goodbye letters, so you can see what those look like, as well as forbearance plan, loan mods, borrower option letters. I'll make a comment on the forbearance and loan modification agreements. Even though these are being provided to you, we strongly recommend that you have an attorney review those in the state you're doing the loan mod or forbearance agreement to make sure it complies with state laws. So while you're being provided, we still recommend you have an attorney review that document, which would be more cost effective than having the attorney actually draft a whole new document for you. On the finance tab, we've got the calculators, the performing note and partials calculator, and then we have the non-performing note calculator as well, which this is the calculator I use for all my note investing. And I believe this is the only membership portal or group that actually an investor has given away their calculator to group members. The calculator is typically taboo. I know I spent hundreds of hours, at least 100, probably close to 100, perfecting it, and it can always be updated, and it constantly is. And as we do provide updates to the calculator, it'll also be provided to members as well. Under business planning, I have a general administrative budget sheet. What this consists of is Ancillary costs like lost opportunity, where you order BPO and ONE reports that you don't buy the asset. It's good to track those to know what is your hit rate, meaning how many assets are you buying compared to not buying. So at the end of the year, you understand how much of those costs are incurring, because if you're making 10 or 12% on a note, but you're spending significant costs on lost opportunity, you need to really focus on how to control that. The other is a future cash flow forecast, which this is for performing and partials. Again, it's a forecast, but if you have partials, the calculator can separate the payments going to your partner compared to you. So on an average monthly basis over the next 20 years or 30 years, it will provide you with how much cash flow you've got coming in the door. So I find this very important and imperative for me as I do partials to understand when I'm getting this cash flow coming in the door. And then some miscellaneous documents, ability to repay, income sheets, amortization tables. I use this for Exhibit B for partials, but it's just nice to have an amortization calculator that you can either base it off of how many months you want the loan to go to or what the monthly payment is to provide you with how many months that would be. And some seller financing loan analysis as well. This provides you information on if you're going to sell or finance a property. Is it better to go 8 years at 10 years at 8% or 5 years at 6%, for example? What provides the best cash flow or velocity of money to you? So it's a nice analysis to provide to investors as well. Okay, marketing. Finance. Case studies, under case studies, those will be coming soon. We have no case studies in there now, but we'll constantly update with case studies. Also, these are not just going to be my case studies. Investors who are part of the membership group will also provide case studies because they're going to go through unique experiences that can educate all of us. Lastly, promissory notes and security instruments. If any of you do seller financing or conversion of CFDs to notes, we went and we took the Fannie Mae documents online for promissory notes and security instruments, and we put them into PDF form fills. So you now know when you go to fill out the documents, it's form filled to where the important information is you have to fill in, because 95% of these are standard templates. So if you did need to do something that is not standard, you could go to Fannie Mae's site to download the Word documents, but we tried to make it as easy as possible on people to provide the documents in a PDF form fill format. Online videos are going to be the videos where we do our workshops and our webinars. So there's no videos in there right now, but these will be the videos where you can log in and see. One comment I'll make is these videos will be housed in the library here. We're not going to be publishing them on YouTube for the entire audience to see, because you are paying for a membership. So we are providing you information that we do not want to provide to others for free. And again, we have another link for the note calculators as well. That is also another place just easy for members to find those documentations. So this is a behind the scenes look at the Seveney membership hub. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at chris@seveneyinvestments.com. So hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes look of the Seveney membership portal. So again, that's where I've housed all the documents and the ongoing videos that we have as part of this membership group. If you tried to put a value on that, I'd say it's significant. On my website, it says approximately $7,500 worth of value, but that doesn't include the time and effort that it would take for a new note investor to accumulate all those documents, and also the savings from knowing what's right and what's wrong. I can't tell you how much different structures I tried for whether it's software or forms to fine tune things to get to them to the point where they were easy to use and easy to manage my business. So, like I said, that is one half of the membership. The other is the learning by doing component. And what we're going to have as part of membership is a weekly Coffee with Chris calls for executive members. And I'm calling it Coffee with Chris because I anticipate it will be in the morning. and it'll be once a week, and we most likely will alternate times because we want to make sure people on the West Coast and people on the East Coast can both be involved. So don't want to have them at 8 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, so people have to get up at 5 o'clock a.m. on the West Coast. So we might move them to lunchtime. We're going to poll the members to see what works best for everyone, where we can get the biggest audience for people to get the most bang for their buck. We're also going to have monthly webinars with industry experts. And this is going to be significantly different than what you may see on a podcast or other webinars, because this will be, like I said, I'll call it behind the scenes, but we're going to roll up our sleeves and dive much deeper into conversations with attorneys, with other types of vendors in the business, to really focus on understanding the business and making sure that you understand moving forward some of the ramifications on whether it's a foreclosure in a certain state or how to deal with specific service or a specific issue. So those are a lot of things we're going to cover. And with it being something that's not getting out in the public on YouTube, it's much easier to have more open conversations. We're also going to have monthly hands-on interactive workshops. So this will be done on Spatial Chat for those who participated in the live webinar. And this is very hands-on, where you can break up into groups. And I don't want to be the only person up there just speaking the entire time on anything that's interactive. I want everyone to get involved. So if we're doing one on how to use the calculator, I want people asking questions. If we do one on due diligence, I have 2 file cabinets full of collateral that is loans that have been closed out. Have you review those? Have you understand what you're looking at? And if you don't, ask the questions. And again, breaking into groups, so the groups have members where they can ask each other the questions, and then I'll go to each group and put them in certain situations. For example, giving you collateral with a price to acquire an asset, and let you say, would you buy it, would you not? Because again, I think this is a learning by doing business, which I will continue to harp on. As part of any membership group, one of the things I want to do is have fun, and I want to gamify it. And what I mean by that is most of us work full-time jobs, have family, have kids. We can't spend 60 hours a week on note investing. So for people to come on webinars and participate, it can be stressful. So we want to also have some fun. So at least every quarter, we're going to have some friendly competitions, which will be individual based, as well as some team based competitions. I'm thinking some maybe like a first seconds group and compete against each other as well. But I want to have some fun as well as part of this membership, because I think when people have fun, they enjoy it more and they will participate more. And again, I can't harp on this enough that this membership group is going to be based on investor input and learning by doing. So I hope that gives some insight into what we're looking to accomplish as part of this membership group. So the next question is, so when is the Seveney Note Syndicate launching? Well, in the famous words of Van Halen, right here, right now. So with this being recorded in November, I joke the cheesy infomercial catch. People who participate in the webinar and complete the brief survey, we will then follow up with an email and enroll you in a free trial membership for free until the end of the year. So no strings attached, no credit card information, no nothing. You basically can participate for the next 6 weeks to see what the membership is like. And if you want to sign on at the end of the year, that would be great. So what's included? So you'll get use of the calculators that we talked about. You'll get to participate in the Coffee with Chris discussions, which will be starting shortly. You'll participate in the December monthly webinar and also in the December workshop. One thing that's not included is access to the membership hub for the time being. And once you sign up for the full membership, of course, then you would have full access to the membership hub. So why should you join the Seveney Note Syndicate? First, the education component. This is not going to be cookie cutter information that you can find in books, find on other webinars. A lot of information can be found online on Facebook and on YouTube, but the one thing that is lacking the most is case studies in real world situations and scenarios. Results. I can't promise success, but I can promise we're going to look to provide you with all the tools you need to advance your mortgage note business. So that I can promise. We're going to build a community. We're going to be like-minded individuals. We want to be serious, competitive, but also like to have fun. Remember, as I mentioned, this group will be interactive and it's going to be very dynamic. So you have to be someone who wants to be involved. You also have access to me and my network. So whether it's attorneys, servicers, REO agents, participating in coffee with Chris in the mornings, we'll have the webinars with the vendors. If you're in a sticky situation, we can discuss it with a coffee with Chris. Speak to other investors who may have had an education or gone through that situation. Like I said, you'll have access to everything that I have access to, including when we get tapes, we will be sharing those with the community as well. Support. As we're building a community, it's going to be a support system. We can be a sounding board for ideas. If there's something that a lot of us are seeing in the space that involves maybe a servicer or a realtor or a attorney, as a group, we could work to come to a resolve and figure out what's the best way to, if we have to approach someone, approach them, or let them know that, hey, we're getting a lot of feedback from people that X, Y, and Z is happening and just wanted to discuss it with you to see if there's a way we can improve, or there's a way some entity does something and say, hey, is it possible to try and change some few things up that works for both of us and benefits both parties? One of the things that from college, going way back now, we used to talk about is part of any type of community you're involved in is the journey. And we used to say, if you climb a mountain alone, it gets lonely being at the top. So as part of a community, you want to grow and build and climb together. And that's what we're going to do with the Seveney Note Syndicate. So how do you join? For those on this webinar that have looking for the free trial, make sure to complete the survey that we put up in Spatial Chat, and you'll automatically be sent the instructions for the calculator, how to download and set up in the system, and you'll also be notified of upcoming events. For the full membership, if you go to members.seveneyinvestments.com/join, then you can sign up for either professional executive membership when the trial is over. The special offer for those who sign up for the full year executive membership that are on this webinar, on January 2nd, I'm going to host a Facebook Live on the Notes and Bolts page, where I'm going to be giving away a very special prize. For every 10 signups, I'm going to select one individual who will have the option of 10 hours of one-on-one consulting with me, or the option to get lifetime executive membership. So if you're selected, we will refund you your $1,000 that you paid, as well as give you lifetime membership. So we like to reward the people who take the time out of their evening and want to participate and be somebody who's participating in the membership from the beginning. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at chris@seveneyinvestments.com. And again, here is that information along with the Facebook group, the Notes and Bolts page, my LinkedIn profile, and where to follow us on Twitter or on Instagram. Thank you for watching this webinar. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you and have a good evening.